I usually am morbidly curious, but I think I'm good.
Don't. I'm going to go into some of it now, so
Okay.
feel free to skip ahead a little bit, and you can stop when you hear Rebecca picking herself up off the floor.
Oh my God.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
It's us, Rebecca and Rachel. We're turning 37 tomorrow. Just pointing that out.
For our birthday, we'd like for you to tell 37 friends about the podcast.
3,700 friends. So, excuse her.
Excuse me. So Rach told me that she, once upon a time, had a job interview with some man in a hotel room. And I said, whoa, wait, stop, hold it, save it. I'm going to need to hear about this on the podcast because it sounds like it's going to be a cautionary tale.
It's a cautionary tale. It's actually not, because nothing happened, but I just cannot believe I did that. It was like,
I don't remember this. So
Okay.
Go on.
Okay. I was probably 25 or 6. I just moved to Asheville, and it was for some website. It was like a content writer for a website, like a travel website or something. I wish I remembered what it was.
Yeah, so you could report them.
I know. And so there was no office. And so he was like, I'm staying at this hotel. Just meet me here. And I just did it.
Well,
Went to his hotel
were you under
room.
the impression it'd be in the lobby?
No. Well, no, actually, hold on. Let me think. I don't remember. I remember going up to the front desk and being like, is there a whatever his name was here? And they're like, oh, yeah, room, whatever. And I was like, okay. So I just got in the elevator and went up there. And it was the interview was in his hotel room. It was like a suite. Like it was like in the kitchen. It was so weird. It was bizarre.
No.
Uneventful, thank God. But I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. So we had sex and I left.
What? What'd you say?
I said, so we had sex and I left. Like, I just cannot believe I did that. How irresponsible and how inappropriate to ask this young chick
Ew.
to do an interview in a hotel room.
Oh my God. He was expecting you to put out. How old was he?
40s, probably.
30s. Did he
40s?
address it? Was he like,
No.
sorry, this is kind of weird.
No.
That we have to sit on my bed.
Sorry, I'm in a robe.
Like, just got out of the bath. Feel free to take one.
Yeah. No, he didn't address it. It was so weird. Okay, well, this, without further ado, is the dreaded episode 101.
Dreaded. Right? Just
Not
been
dreaded.
talking about this damn warning.
Y'all, trigger warning. I don't know how many times I can say it.
Okay.
This will be probably the darkest case I've ever covered. This was suggested by one of our listeners. She DM'd us on Instagram, Zoe, you're my girl. She was like, listen, it's dark, but the twist is insane. So there's a case file on it, like a podcast case file.
Which, did you see that DM when someone said, when y'all say case files, do you mean the podcast? Or I'm like, oh no, we never, if we mean the podcast, it'll be the podcast. Usually it's the actual court documents.
And this one is both. But I listened to the case file episode on it, and I was like, I can't stomach this. No.
Oh my God.
And then, but she was like, the twist is insane. So I was like, oh, I'm going to power through it. And I could not, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I had to do it. I'm sorry in advance. And then we asked patrons, our top tier patrons.
I was about to say, if y'all don't like this, blame patrons.
They're dark. They are twisted bunch of folks. You know, we
posted the question on Patreon first. And they're like, do it.
Everyone said do it. So, yep. So here it goes.
Well, are you going to circle the airport or are we going to bring this puppy in?
I'm going to keep building it up.
Okay, let's go.
So yeah, really, trigger warning. There's talks about child abuse. Tell you that right now. It is batshit.
Oh God. Okay.
Sources: a book by Ryan Green called The Kurim Case, a terrifying true story of, and then it says a bunch of stuff that I don't want to tell you yet. So hold off. If you Google Kurim Case, that book will come up. The podcast case file, the actual case file from the court, and CBSnews.com. This takes place in a small town in Czech Republic called Kurim. That's why it's called the Kurim Case.
Oh, okay. I thought that was their last name. But.
No. On May 7th, 2007, a man named Edward Turdy was setting up a video baby monitor because he and his wife had welcomed their first child that morning. So he was amped to get this set up and watch his sweet little baby angel sleeping.
Sure. Turdy.
I know. It was TRDY. I think that's what I mean.
TRDY?
Yeah.
No vowel on there?
No, I'm going to get a lot of mispronunciations, I think. It's in the Czech Republic.
Okay.
When Edward turned on the video monitor, he was shocked to see not his new baby, but a young boy who looked to be about 6 or 7 years old. He was naked and his hands were bound, and he was playing with a toy of sorts. It looked like a roll of Scotch tape.
Mm-mm.
Obviously, his baby monitor crossed signals with someone who had the same one and lived nearby. While it was a scary sight, he said the boy didn't seem like scared or miserable. He seemed kind of content playing with his tape or whatever. So he thought he may be playing some sort of game. Yeah. And he turned off the monitor.
His hands were bound?
His hands were bound.
So he was playing with the tape behind his back?
No, they're bound in front.
Oh,
I believe.
Yeah.
6 hours later, Edward turned the monitor back on just to check, and the signal was still crossed, and the boy was still there.
No.
And he's like, no way he's playing this game for this long. His hands are still bound, and then the boy starts eating something off the floor. And Edward's like, hell no, and calls the police.
Oh.
While he waited on the police, he was scared he'd lose the signal, so he started recording it.
Oh, good.
Police get there, and they are just as horrified, and they know that these monitors don't have that long of a range, so it has to be somewhere pretty close.
Yeah.
They went to all the immediate neighbors, but all of them were like, nope, not us. And they had no good reason to storm in, any of them. So they went back to Edward's house. And when they walked in, Edward told them that he was recording the entire time and heard one of their conversations with the neighbor through the monitor.
My God.
My
heart is racing.
I know. So he replayed the video for the investigators, and obviously they recognized the conversation they had just had. Plus, there's music playing in it. And they said when they were talking to a neighbor, the radio was up really loud. It was the same song. So they're like, okay, we know who it is.
Oh my God.
They went back to the neighbor's house, and this time the woman who answered before, her name is Clara Mauerova, had no choice. They stormed in, and they see that Clara's older sister, Katerina, is also at the house. As they're searching for the young boy, Clara's 13-year-old adopted daughter, Anna Oranishka, I'm going to call her Anna. It depends on which source you're looking at. I'm going to call her Anna, though.
Okay.
Anna comes downstairs. She's really scared with all the cops there. The cops noted that even though she was 13, she acted much younger. She was babbling and like rocking herself. It was clear she had developmental delays. And just as she's running to Clara for comfort, the police found what seems to be a small closet or room under the stairs and has a padlock on it. So they tell Clara to go get the key, and she tells them it's been locked since they moved in and the landlord won't give her a key. And they say, bullshit.
Right.
And also, not a problem. We'll get the fire department here.
Yeah.
They'll unlock it in no time.
Mm-hmm.
The fire department gets there, and Clara, Katerina, her sister, and Anna, the 13-year-old, all stand in front of the little door.
What?
Police and firefighters physically remove them, break the lock, and when they open the door, the first thing every single one of them noted was the foul smell and how hot it was.
Oh, God.
Remember, it's May.
Oh.
They immediately find the little boy from the baby monitor. He's not crying despite how horrible these conditions are. Clara tells them that that's her 7-year-old son, Andre.
Not anymore. It's not. We're going to take him with us.
Right.
Thanks.
They said, why is he in here like this? And she told them they couldn't possibly understand. They're like, try us.
Yeah, try it.
She is losing her mind at this point. She's freaking out. And while that's going on, Katerina calmly tells them that Andre plays in this room because it reminds him of Harry Potter. And everything's fine. This is his favorite room. He does it all the time.
I thought it was locked and the landlord wouldn't give you a key. You
right.
dumb bitch.
Well, they say, that's interesting. Why is he naked and filthy?
Right.
And Katerina's stuck with that one. She has no answer.
I am so bummed out already.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Wow. Tip of the iceberg.
Oh, shit.
I will say, and I'll give a warning before, I don't go into the extremely graphic details that are available.
Oh.
If I don't, but I'll tell you before we even get to that part.
You're heightening my Monday anxiety.
Oh, I know. This is not going to do you any favors. While they're waiting on paramedics, the police pull out a camera to take a picture of the crime scene with Andre sitting just as they found him, and still bound and naked. He looked up at the camera and smiled.
No. Oh my
He's
God.
a sweet boy.
Sweet boy.
So they take him to the hospital, and they made a report of scars all over his body, all over his arms and back. He's also treated for dehydration. Andre's older brother, Jacob, who was 9 years old, was at school at the time. So authorities went to get him, and he, Anna, and Andre were put into a children's home while they investigate.
Okay.
They sat Jacob down and noticed the same type of scars all over him. And they asked him if he had been treated the same way as his brother was. And he was very hesitant to talk, but then finally admitted, yes, all the scars are from his mom. He was locked in that basement too, except for when he went to school, all that.
What a twat.
Oh, God. The first few days in the children's shelter were very tough. They were clearly all traumatized, but Jacob and Andre began talking to the investigators more freely.
Okay.
Andre told them that this all started about a year ago. He and Jacob had been kept in confinement for a majority of their time at this house. They only saw the living room on Christmas Day.
I cannot stand you.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this family.
Well, I wish you wouldn't, but okay.
I know.
I guess you need to.
Clara and Katerina had a great childhood. They had another sister named Gabriella, and the three of them were very close. Their parents were great. The book I sourced said they had a very loving environment. Everything was great. In 1996, when Clara was only 18 years old, she got pregnant with Jacob. Obviously, it was a surprise, but she and the father got married. They made it work. He was born in October 1997, and 2 years later, in September 1999, Andre was born. Andre and Jacob grew up with a very happy childhood. They played sports, specifically basketball and hockey, just normal kids living life.
Yeah.
The marriage started falling apart a few years later, and in 2003, Clara and their dad got divorced. I don't know their dad's name. He's not in this, really.
Okay.
They got divorced, but on very good terms. She got custody, and he never even fought it because she was a great mom. He had all the confidence that she would raise them right. He was still very much involved. He went to all their sporting events. Like, they were cool.
Okay.
In 2004, Clara started studying social childcare and education, taking after her older sister, Katerina, who ran a youth center. In 2005, Clara started working at the youth center, and Katerina came to talk to her one day about a child who had just arrived from Norway. The child's name was Anna, again, or Anishka. Anna was 12 years old and needed a foster home. Katerina thought Clara would be a great foster parent because, given how great of a mom she already was.
What the fuck?
I know, you're very confused.
I'm very confused.
I know. So Clara was like, I mean, yeah, maybe. Let me meet her. She went and met her, and Anna was very pale and thin. Clara could tell she was very nervous around people. She spent the next couple of weeks with her at the youth center, and Anna started opening up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Her parents had died when she was really young, so she was put into an orphanage. The people who ran the orphanage were monsters.
Oh, God.
They sold Anna and a few of the other kids into a pedophile ring. They were abused and tortured. The pedophile ring was finally exposed, and that's when she was sent to Katerina's youth center.
Oh, shit.
Anna started working with a doctor named Dr. Zanalov. He was a child psychiatrist who lived in Azerbaijan. It's a country.
No, I know. Got it. I'm very impressed with your pronunciation.
I know. I've spelled everything out phonetically, but I'm sure I'm going to screw it up. So he lived in Azerbaijan and specialized in children with trauma. He was a psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm. Toughest job in the world. Cannot imagine.
I can't imagine. He shared Anna's medical files with Clara and Katerina, and that's when they learned that Anna also had epilepsy and a aggressive leukemia.
Oh.
She was in desperate need of a bone marrow transplant and was only expected to live until about 16 years old.
No.
They were devastated for this poor kid, and Clara even had her bone marrow tested, but she wasn't compatible.
Oh.
Anna really connected with Clara, especially, which was weird considering everything she'd been through. She was really scared of most people, but not Clara. Clara was determined to make the rest of her short life very comfortable and filled with stability and love. So in December 2005, Anna started living with Clara, and she started the adoption process.
Mm-hmm.
Since Dr. Zanalov lived in Azerbaijan, he treated her remotely. So he was in constant contact with like emails and text messages to Clara.
Mm-hmm.
The adoption process was really difficult since Anna didn't have a birth certificate or any form of legal identification. She'd never even been to school, so she had nothing. Clara and Katerina reached out to several organizations to see if they could help, but most couldn't do anything, so it ended up taking a really long time. While working through the adoption process, Clara kept Anna in her care, but taking care of her proved to be very difficult. She required a lot of attention, had a lot of behavioral issues, often threatening suicide, to the point where Clara said if they had to go to the train station, she had to pay extra close attention to her because she thought she would jump in front of a train.
Yeah.
The boys and Anna got along at first, but eventually they lost all attention from their mom. I mean, she was constantly tending to Anna.
Yeah.
So Claire started neglecting them. They had to spend a lot of time at their grandparents' house while Anna got to stay home. As a result, they started acting out, becoming more resentful of Anna.
Mm-hmm.
According to her, they were very mean to her. We don't know how exaggerated it is or not, but I mean, they're kids and wanted attention.
Yeah.
Nothing warranted what was to come.
No.
Obviously. The tension between the kids really concerned Clara, given Anna's already bad health. She didn't want her to be stressed on top of that, and again, feeling uncomfortable in her own home. So in July 2006, Clara looked to her sister and the doctor for help.
Yeah.
Dr. Zanalov essentially told her that Anna needed complete comfort in her new home and in order to heal, and Clara needed to give the boys a serious attitude adjustment. Then he gave her some tactics to do just that. And to say it was a harsh form of therapy is an understatement, obviously. All right, this is where I'm going to go into some details, not everything. If you're morbidly curious, holy shit, go look at the actual court document. I like couldn't. It's sick.
Yeah, but I usually am morbidly curious, but I think I'm good.
Don't. I'm going to go into some of it now. So feel free to skip ahead a little bit. And you can stop when you hear Rebecca picking herself up off the floor.
Oh, my God.
So the doctors started by telling Clara that if they kept behaving this way, they're going to end up in prison. So she needs to give them a little taste of prison.
I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. First of all, how old are they at this point? Toddlers, right? Right. He was 7 when she was 13.
Yeah.
So
7 and 9 when they were found and rescued. This is about a year before.
Right.
So he told her to give them a little taste of prison, hence the dungeon they were kept in.
If they keep acting like this, can I just take a moment for that? If they keep acting like this, they're going to end up in prison. What are they doing? Are they stabbing Anna? What's happening?
Being mean.
Shut up.
I know. He also had her beat them with spoons and scratch them with forks.
What the fuck?
In August 2006, he advised that the boys be sent to a cottage in a nearby town where their re-education would take place.
Oh, shit.
At the cottage were Clara and Katerina, as well as 2 men named Jan Turek and Jan Sklar. I hate that they have the same name. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Okay. There was also a woman there named Hannah Basova. All 3 of those people worked at Katerina's Children's Center.
Oh, my God.
At the cottage, the boys were forced to sleep in dog cages. They were beaten and burned with cigarettes. At one point, this is disgusting. At one point, they shaved off some of Andre's skin and forced him to eat it.
What the fuck?
He got the brunt of it. The youngest
Why?
one. He was, to them, the most unruly.
Oh,
yeah, because he's 6 at this point.
You are creating a serial killer.
No, don't worry. So the shaving off his skin and forcing him to eat it, that was one that Clara said, no, I can't do that. So they made her leave so they could do it, which she did.
Stop.
You are just as bad as these monsters. You left your kids there. She left.
Oh my God. I want everyone to die in this story. All the adults so far.
There was also psychological torture. Well, once Jacob said he was thirsty, so Clara gave Andre a glass of water and said, give this to your brother. Jacob drank it. Then he was taken to the backyard where he was told to lie in a shallow grave and play dead. He did what he was told, and Clara went back to get Andre and said, you just gave your brother poison, and now he's dead. She took Andre to the backyard where Jacob was playing dead And she said, if you behave, he'll come back to life. And Andre, terrified, promised to behave, and Jacob got up.
That is, oh my God.
How sick. That's when I was like, I'm going to turn this off. But I powered through.
Oh my God. That is so batshit fucking crazy. It's pissing me off. I'm getting hot.
It's disgusting. I understand that.
I am flabbergasted.
That's all I'm going to tell you about what went on.
Great.
If you did skip ahead, all you need to know is 3 people who worked at Katerina's youth center participated in the abuse.
And they're twats.
Their names were Jan, and Hannah. I don't like that 2 of them have the same name. I'm sorry. By this point, Clara had cut off visitation from the boy's father and a lot of family and friends. So nobody knew what was going on. And obviously they were threatened if they were to tell anyone.
Uh-huh.
In October 2006, after about a year of trying to adopt Anna, Katerina arranged for Clara to meet with a deputy ombudsman, which is a government official who essentially helps people navigate systems like this. One definition was literally a person who helps people find solutions. Yeah. That's just what they do. They told Katerina and Clara that in order to get Anna a birth certificate, they needed to get her age verified. So Katerina and Clara took Anna to the university hospital where doctors examined her, taking x-rays of her forearms and hands. They took DNA. And when all was said and done, they determined that she was in between 13 and 14 years old, and they gave her an official medical certificate.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a 47-year-old woman. Like, what's her face?
Natalia Grace.
Yeah.
Didn't they confirm that she was actually a child?
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a second of that documentary because I don't know.
Oh God, it just grossed me out on
everything.
I know. I watched it. It was batshit. Clara and Katerina gave the medical certificate to the municipal court, who scheduled a hearing. But before the hearing, social workers had to come inspect Clara's home, make sure it was a good environment, which they determined it was. The hearing happened March 2007, where a judge reviewed all the medical files as well as reports from the social workers. He interviewed Anna. He got statements from Clara and Katerina, and he declared her legal birthday December 2nd, 1993, and issued a birth certificate. So with this, Clara's adoption was finally approved, and Anna officially became Anna Mauerova. 6 weeks later, May 2007, Edward made that horrifying discovery.
Yeah.
So now it's May 2007. Clara was arrested for child abuse while an investigation is underway. Jacob, Andre, and Anna are in the children's home, and the boys are actually adapting really well.
Yeah.
They played together. They started becoming more trusting of the staff and telling them about everything they'd gone through, who was involved. Obviously, they showed signs of PTSD. They had anxiety and trouble sleeping, but overall, they were adapting really well. And one source said they were remarkably resilient, which is like just a little sliver of relief.
Yeah.
Anna, not so much. She did not open up easily. She was very upset about being taken away from Clara. Anytime the social workers tried to check her for scarring, she'd lose her shit, kick, fight.
Oh my God.
They were very aware of her past and her health conditions, so they gave her space.
Yeah. So she has leukemia, like actively, or did she? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like chemo, the whole thing, or
yeah.
Okay.
After the kids had been there for 3 days, the staff was going room to room doing their bed checks before bedtime and found that Anna's bed was empty and her window was open.
Ah, shit.
She escaped.
Mm-hmm.
This place was very secure, so they were shocked she figured out how to open the window. And their biggest concern is if she figured that out on her own, or did she have an adult helper?
Oh, God.
Honestly, either scenario is a huge problem. A child shouldn't be alone wandering around with a potentially dangerous adult. So they put out a huge search.
Yeah.
They went door to door, asking anyone in the area if they've seen her, searched nearby woods with canine units. They got DNA from all of her clothes. There was no trace of her, which led them to think she must be with an adult because she's clearly far away. She's like out of the area.
Yeah. Someone like drove her away.
Yeah. 9 days after she disappeared, the office of the Czech Republic president, the deputy ombudsman, and a local newspaper all received handwritten letters. There were photocopies of the same letters, and it was 9 pages long.
Oh, Jesus.
It was from Anna, and it started with, "My mother is not at all bad, as shown on television and in the newspapers. I don't understand everything, but I will write the truth as I know it. Please forgive my mother.
Okay. She's never been to school?
No.
She didn't write that fucking letter.
Listen
I think
to
we
you.
know who did. What?
Listen to you. Wait, hold on. I'll get there.
Okay.
The letter went on to say that she knows people are looking for her, but she's scared. Then she says that the boys were not abused. They were being harshly punished because they were unruly, especially Andre. She said he threatened to kill her and their mom. And if she told anyone, social workers would take her away, et cetera, et cetera. There was a lot of skepticism around the letter because it did not seem like it was written by a 13-year-old.
Nah. Especially one who's never been to a day of school in her life.
I know. There were almost no grammatical errors. Some of it used childlike vocabulary, but then it used very advanced vocabulary. But when they compared it to some doodles she had done in the children's center, they determined it was her handwriting. But now they're thinking an adult either helped her write it or forced her to write it.
Right. And I think we all know who that was.
The postmark on the letter was from a small town north of them, but it didn't help. It didn't pinpoint her location at all.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, forensic investigators do a sweep of Anna's room at the children's home to collect any foreign DNA to try to identify who helped her.
Yeah. I mean, they really don't know. I mean, like, go to the first.
There are a lot of adults involved in this, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But start with the one that the letter's praising.
Right. Well, they do. Luckily, they do find foreign DNA that didn't match Anna's. So they tested against everyone involved in the case. They didn't find a direct match, but they found a very close match to Jan Sklar, one of the pieces of shit at the cottage.
Sure.
He worked at Katarina's youth center. You remember?
Yeah.
It wasn't his DNA, but it was DNA from a very close relative.
Okay.
The relative turned out to be his older sister, 33-year-old Barbora Sklova. Barbora also worked at Katarina's youth center, and the amount of her DNA found in Anna's room made them certain she is the one who helped her escape.
Barbara.
It's Barbora.
I know, but...
They look for Barbora. They cannot find her. They're like, she is hiding with Anna. So now their top priority is finding these two and making sure Anna is safe. This is front page news. So a picture of Anna is in newspapers across the country.
Yeah.
I'll post the picture. It's a picture of Anna and Clara. They look like they're about to go canoeing. Clara's all smiles and Anna's like looking down, no expression on her face.
Oh, God.
A few days later, police got a phone call from a woman who saw the picture in the newspaper. And that woman said, "Hey, I know the girl in that picture. That's not a 13-year-old Anna. That's 33-year-old Barbora Sklova."
Wait. I have to sit. Oh, my God. So many questions.
This is where it gets bat shit.
Okay. Where's her documentary on Netflix?
Right?
Yeah.
I think well, I'll tell you at the end. I think there may be a movie about this. Or it was the basis of a movie and whatever. Okay, so this woman who called police also worked at Katarina's child center.
Oh, my God.
And told the police that the person in the picture with Clara that has been blasted all over newspapers is not a 13-year-old. She worked at the center with her for 7 years. It's 33-year-old Barbora Sklova. There is no Anna.
Oh, my God. I'm going like way back, and now I need to like rewind in real life. And you just start the story over.
All right, I'm going to tell you about Barbora.
Okay.
She was born in 1974, the oldest of 3 kids. Her mom had a bad drinking problem. Her dad was pretty absent. She did have medical issues like epilepsy and a neurological and cardiac issue. I don't know exactly what they are. And an underactive thyroid, which very much stunted her growth. That's why she looked far younger than she was.
Yeah.
When she was in her early 20s, she met Katarina. They became good friends and eventually roommates. She also started working at Katarina's youth center when she was about 26 years old, and that's how her little brother, Jan, got the job too.
Okay.
In early 2005, Barbora and Katarina came up with the plan for Barbora to reinvent herself as 13-year-old Anna.
But why?
We'll get there.
Sorry. Obviously.
They schemed up this sad backstory about being put into this horrible orphanage, being sold into a sex trafficking ring. All bullshit. Barbora also spent months starving herself and lost almost half of her weight in order to look even younger and sick because no, she did not have leukemia.
But why even throw that in there? Like, why did you, clearly not of sound mind, but you're only complicating your story.
I know.
God, okay. All right.
She also wore clothes that young teenagers were wearing at the time. She wore glasses. By the summer of 2005, the plan was ready to implement, and Katerina introduced Clara to Anna. Air quotes.
Oh, Clara's not in on this?
No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm just assuming. Okay. All right.
No. The medical document Clara saw confirming she was dying of leukemia, fake. They kept the ruse going by Katerina always offering to take Anna to chemo appointments. Claire never took her. Dr. Zanala, the doctor who was treating Anna remotely and spearheaded the horrible abuse and re-education on the poor boys, fake. There is no Dr. Zanala.
What the hell?
All of the emails and texts sent from him, quote again, I'm doing air quotes again, were traced back to Katerina, their own aunt.
Oh my God.
The hell is wrong with this bitch?
What the hell is wrong with this bitch?
I'll tell you.
Oh my God.
Clara met this doctor once, but it was very late at night and he was in the car. She couldn't see anything except the fact that it was a man. And I think he just handed her the fake medical files and drove away. Who was actually in the car has never 100% been determined.
Probably
but
Jan.
Most believe it was either Barbora's younger brother, Jan, or perhaps her dad, Joseph, who we'll talk about in a minute.
God.
Now, remember, the whole reason the adoption was approved was because Anna got her birth certificate based on the medical exam from doctors confirming that she was 13 years old. Those doctors didn't examine Barbora. As it turns out, Katerina brought in one of her friend's 13-year-old daughters to do the medical exam.
Oh,
that's why the DNA sample they took didn't match the DNA found in Anna's room when they were trying to find the adult who took her.
Yeah.
They found foreign DNA. Because they didn't have what they thought was Anna's DNA was some random kids.
What the hell? I'm very eager for a motive because I'm just trying to wrap my head around this.
A different kid doing the medical exam, Claire was in on that. She
Why?
did know about that scam because the fake Dr. Zanalov told them that if the real Anna were to go in, they would discover she had leukemia and it would make the adoption process even harder. So Claire was in on that one. They wanted a healthy kid. But aside from that, Clara claims she knew nothing about any of this. Now, Barbora's dad, Joseph, tell you about him. Joseph was the head of a sect of the Grail movement, which is an international religious group. Most describe it as a cult.
Oh, yeah.
Ranker said they believed in a mix of Christianity and New Age with a dash of violence.
You made that sound fun.
I know. Cute. They're advocates of very strong discipline in children, so they grow up into righteous adults.
No, that's not how that works.
He was a big proponent of breaking kids down to build them back up.
No, yeah, I know he is. You didn't have to tell me that.
Oh, I know. So this is part of the Grail movement. And as an active member, Barbora recruited Katerina into the group when they met early on. It's not really clear if Clara officially joined it. But it was
whatever.
I don't know. I think she was just very easily manipulated. It was determined that the 13-year-old who the doctors examined was the daughter of another Grail movement member. So this entire thing is unveiled when they found out that 13-year-old Anna is really 33-year-old Barbora, and everyone involved, obviously the sisters, but also Jan, and Hannah are all arrested. But remember, Barbora is still missing. They have no idea where she is.
Oh, right.
So the hunt switches from concern for a well-being of this poor, sickly child to a criminal manhunt.
Yeah.
Finally, on June 15th, 5 weeks after she escaped the children's home, Barbora showed up at the Czech embassy in Copenhagen with an attorney. They confirmed it was her by taking her DNA because, Jesus, they can't trust anyone.
No.
So they called the Czech authorities so they could arrange to come get her. But in the meantime, she left the embassy. I don't know if they couldn't detain her, but she's gone.
Oh my God.
She
this
did
girl
arrange.
is a flight risk, people.
I know.
Just go ahead and handcuff her to a wall.
After she left the embassy, she did arrange for an interview with a newspaper in Denmark. In the interview, she said she was more comfortable as Anna and liked how people treated her as a kid. She said the original plan for her to pose as a kid was orchestrated so she could supervise the kids at the youth center while blending in with them. So they wouldn't really realize that she wasn't one of them. But then she said the situation evolved. Just putting it lightly.
Yeah.
She then told the newspaper that Clara did not abuse the boys and Andre had only been locked up just that day, the day he was discovered. Bullshit.
Right.
And that he was disciplined on one other occasion, but like what was being mapped out is not true. She said he also deserved it because he attacked her and Jacob, yelling, "Kill Anna, kill Jacob."
Then let's strip them naked and lock them in a dungeon with feces probably everywhere.
Right after the interview in July 2007, Barbora vanished yet again.
Jeez, people.
Authorities from Czech Republic are looking for her to arrest her and charge her with aggravated cruelty, and poof, gone.
Everyone is at fault here. A lot of people are making mistakes in this story.
Get Interpol up in here.
I mean, Interpol's
she's crossing borders.
Yeah,
she's going through customs.
Sure.
Come on. So shelf that for now. There's a manhunt for this bitch. 5 months later, in December 2007, a 13-year-old boy named Adam, who lived in Oslo, Norway, confided in his teachers that he was being abused at home.
Please tell me it's Barbora.
I believe by his father is what he said. Oh. So the teachers called authorities who stepped in, took Adam away, put him in a children's shelter. After a few days in the shelter, Adam was kidnapped, again, seemingly by his father.
Oh, God.
And so the authorities in Norway launched a huge manhunt. In January 2008, after receiving a ton of tips, Adam was found safe in Tromsø, Norway. Upon the safe return of this poor boy, Norwegian authorities realized that Adam was 33-year-old Barbora.
No way! I made that joke at the beginning. Did
I know.
You hear me?
Yes, I did. I ignored you.
Are you joking?
She had shaved her head, gained some weight, taped down her boobs, and spent 5 months in school posing as a 13-year-old boy.
This bitch can't quit.
She enrolled with the help of one of her friends who let her use her actual son Adam's ID to enroll at school.
Why did this chick let her do that?
I don't know. She fooled everyone. Classmates, teachers, principal, everyone.
Everyone is batshit. What would happen like gym class? Or like, hey, I have to pee. Like what? I don't, okay.
Go in a stall? I don't know. So Barbora is finally deported back to the Czech Republic and joined the others in answering for why the fuck they did this to poor Andre and Jacob.
Yeah.
Clara, Jan Sklar, and Hannah were all charged with deprivation of liberty of minors and the abuse of persons entrusted in their care. Katarina faced the same charges with the addition of false witness testimony, perjury, and false expert opinion. Yeah. Barbora and Jan Turek were charged with aggravated cruelty. But Barbora's defense team said she wasn't fit to stand trial due to mental illness, specifically multiple personality disorder. So the courts had her go through a psychological evaluation with a panel of 8 different psychiatrists, and they all determined that she did not have any mental illness. She was totally fine, competent to stand trial.
Okay. This is baffling.
I know. The trial started on June 17th, 2008, and it started with a reading of the indictment detailing every single thing the boys went through. After that, Clara took the stand and confirmed that it was all true. She said, all of my actions of which I am accused were led and directed by other persons whose identity was kept secret from me, and at the time took advantage of my very bad mental state into which they brought me and in which they kept me. So essentially she's saying she was brainwashed.
Yeah.
And their family, the Mauerova family, agree with her. Their other sister, her parents, they stuck by Clara and pretty much shunned Katarina, saying she manipulated her into a constant state of fear, believing that if she didn't follow orders, Anna would die. Clara was the only one who admitted to everything, that all of that happened. The rest denied every single thing. Barbora tried to say that she was also abused, showing them scars.
No, shut up, Barbora. We're not hearing from you anymore.
I know.
You're done.
She showed them scars of cigarette burns, but doctors determined that they were fake. They're like, no, sorry.
We don't care. We don't care about you right now. What do you mean that Katarina would tell Clara, like if she didn't obey orders, she would die? Orders of what? Abusing your kids?
Yeah, getting Jacob and Andre to act right, or essentially it was going to make Anna's health deteriorate even more and she would die.
My God.
Clara became obsessed with making sure Anna was healing as needed. I just can't. It just became her number one priority.
The first 7 years of their lives, or whatever, 7, 8 years of Jacob and Andre's life, they had a happy childhood. Like, you're a good mom, it sounded like. You know what's best for your kids, and come on.
Right.
Locking them in a dungeon, padlocking them, and I just...
It's sick.
It's so sick. And to think your sister's behind it all with this 33-year-old, not an ill child. Like,
horrible. Batshit.
Bat-shat.
Yes. Katerina took the stand and scolded everyone for making such outrageous accusations against Barbora. She admits to introducing Anna to Clara, but denies purposely manipulating her sister.
Is she still calling her Anna on the stand?
No, but, I'm saying, air quote Anna.
I was like, oh my God, this woman's fucking batshit too.
No.
She is, but...
She's essentially saying that Clara assumed Anna was a 13-year-old and allowed herself to believe all this. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Then she denied the abuse, listed the indictment, and said anything they did to simply educate the boys just got out of hand for a year.
Could you elaborate? Was the cross-examination like, could you elaborate on that? What do you
go on
talk about? And how is that not abuse? You made one of your nephews eat his own skin.
There's never been an admitted motive of why Katerina would do this. It's widely believed it was because they were all part of the Grail movement. And that's like their purpose. They spread the practices of the Grail movement. And they believed in breaking people down to build them back up into righteous adults. So Katerina won't say that that's true, but that's what
this is 2007.
Wow. 2007. I could not. I mean, you think I'm talking about the 1700s? Like, what are you talking about?
I know. That's what's baffling to me. This is only
this century. It's crazy.
Right. It's insane. People still don't think like this, right?
It's still very much
it's
practiced.
Still there.
The Grail movement, yes. Still there.
God, I just can't. Okay. So many things.
Everyone is found guilty. The boys testified. Everyone's found guilty.
I bet they have so many expert psychiatrists. Like, heads are exploding on that stand. I'd be like, I can't even, oh my God, help you idiots.
Yeah.
I can't even explain how, oh my God.
You're really not going to like the sentencing.
My God.
Everyone's found guilty. One of the Jans, I don't give a shit who.
Yeah, who cares?
Was sentenced to 5 years. The other was sentenced to 7 years, as was Hannah. Hannah got 7 years as well. Clara got 9 years. Katerina got 10 years. Barbora was given 5 years.
Why?
They all appealed except for Clara. All were denied. Andre and Jacob went to live with their grandparents and started attending school again and ended up doing really well.
Oh, good.
There was something with custody with their dad. Like, he did get custody first, but then the court said, no, never mind. It was weird. I don't understand why, because by all accounts, he was a great dad, but the grandparents got custody. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Barbora was released in February 2012 and now lives under a different name in an undisclosed location.
No social media. Let's do our thing.
Let's, oh God.
Do what social media does. Let's find her.
Where is she? Katerina was released in July 2014, and we know nothing. It just says she's keeping a low profile. Clara was released in late 2013, and a prison psychiatrist said she made great progress, and they believe she was not a threat to children. But even with that, she was not given custody.
Oh, thank God.
While in prison, she wrote letters to the boys to try to build the relationship back. And at first they were like, no, thanks. But then they started writing back and they got on good terms. And apparently they were happy when she was released. But I don't know where that stands today. All we know is that they did end up like doing well in school. They were happy at their grandparents' house. Good. And that is the batshit story of the Kurim case.
Oh my God.
I don't have any like current updates. I only have the releases.
She didn't learn a lesson. And what, 7 years you said she got? No, she got 10 years.
She got 10.
She didn't learn. No.
10 years was the most.
I can't believe
people at the cottage.
Barbora just got 5. She was charged with the same thing Jan was, aggravated whatever, cruelty. So what?
How
this is infuriating.
Insane is that? So I think the movie The Orphan is based on this. I've never seen it. I just kept reading that. I was like, all right.
The Grail movement. Cult is the first thing that...
it started in Germany right before World War II, I think. I don't know. I was like, fuck y'all. Can you believe that story?
No, and I'm pissed, actually. At you, at them, at everyone.
I hope Andre and Jacob are okay.
They are.
I think they are. I really do. I think they are. But the last update, that's the last update, 2013, when she was released, and they were happy.
Maybe they just don't want people in their business.
I know. Poor.
I need more of a motive.
And thank God those wires crossed. Thank God. Can you imagine? Thank God
Edward.
That video monitor wire crossed with a responsible adult who did the right thing and didn't say like, "Ooh, I got my
left
business."
It off for 6 hours before turning it back on.
Well, he had a brand new baby.
No, he's probably.
It wasn't a conscious like, I'm gonna come back 6 hours later and check on this poor kid. He just was like, all right, let's try it again.
Yeah,
and saw him again and was like, I don't like that.
God,
how insane!
That is so infuriating. And then she posed as a little boy. I'm like, oh, you have some like Arrested Development, serious issues.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked the way I was being treated as a kid. Okay. But I don't know. You're an adult. Grow up. I don't know.
Right. Ugh.
That's beyond me. That is infuriating.
It is
Poor
insane.
Boys.
I'll post like the picture that ran in the newspaper of when she was playing Anna. I'll post her when she was playing Adam. I'm just gonna, oh God, I'll post a lot. Patrons: Jason, Aaron and Kendall, Jesse, Emma, Katie, Haley, Jessica, Renee, Courtney, Desora, and Jessica. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
I have a couple of custom shout outs. The first one is from Zoe, who recommended the story. So yell at her.
Zoe. Screw you, Zoe.
Just kidding. You're a dark ass bitch. Just kidding. I just couldn't stop thinking about it.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But this is sad. She wants to shout out her friend May, who passed away this week of leukemia.
No.
May was raising money for the Children's Cancer and Leukemia group, which is still linked in her Instagram profile. If you go to Instagram and search for May's Diary 6, it's MAES DIARY 6, and the link is still in the profile. If you feel the need, if you can, just go donate. Click that link. Zoe, I'm so sorry for your loss.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know how old she was. Isn't that sad?
That is so sad.
The second one is from Missy. I just wanted to tell my daughters Sierra and Gloria that I love them both. Aw. And I'm proud of the kind and strong women they've become. And Sierra is a massage therapist there's a Facebook page, Soma Cura Wellness Center. So SOMA CURA Wellness Center.
Okay.
Or, a phone number. Or 607-329-5056. She cured me from the worst tennis elbow. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Yikes.
She cured me from the worst tennis elbow ever 3 years ago, and it's never come back. Oh, that rocks.
Oh, wow.
So y'all go check out Soma Cura Wellness Center on Facebook or call that number. And thank y'all so much for listening. And I'm sorry for the darkness. Let me know what you think. Are y'all like, never do shit like that to us again? Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you're saying?
Are we going to see a big drop and follows? Maybe.
No, a plot twist is a plot twist. Look.
They're okay.
Anna,
no one.
Barbora's crazy.
Where is she?
Where is she?
I trust no one. What are the moral of these stories? Trust no one?
Yeah. The people are the worst. What are we?
Oh, duh.
You new here?
Thanks,
everyone.
Just 101
You're the
episodes
best.
in. People are the worst. Bye.